Hello, guys. This is Jeremiah Villamore once again for the sports psychology class at Cypress College. Today, we have a discussion assigned on Canvas. The discussion is basically reflecting on a time where we have been burnt out either in our athletic career or just in a personal time of our lives. And I do have a very good example that I can provide for you guys today that involved a lot of strenuous work, and yeah, it was definitely a difficult time of my life for sure. Um, there are a few questions that I have to answer, seven of them to be exact, but I'm just going to hop right into it and hope you guys enjoy. So, the time that I'm going to be reflecting on was my first semester of college. This was when I was attending Golden West College in Huntington Beach, California. Uh, just to give you guys a little insight of what was going on, I was a full time student taking five classes, my first class being at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was a biology lecture class, and the last class that I had was English, which was at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Um, I was also a track and field athlete coming into college as well, so I had to participate in practices and just get ready for the upcoming season and the following semester. Uh, just being a full time student as well as a college athlete, that's just a lot of work in itself. It's very draining, exhausting, and just mentally and physically overwhelming, if I could say. Another factor that I did have too was this might sound pretty insane. I was actually working two jobs um, simultaneously while I was going to school and competing as a track and field athlete. I had a graveyard job at UPS as a package handler Monday through Friday. Like I said, it was graveyard, so I would start approximately around 10 p.m. at night and would not end my shift until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes even later, given um, if we have more packages to deal with and whatnot. The second job that I had was a weekend job at Knott's Berry Farm as a custodial associate. I worked there for about 2 to 3 years, and as a teenager, and it just continued on, into my college days, if I can say. Yeah. So just given all that, I didn't necessarily have the time to rest or just collect my thoughts and just have life in general, outside life in general, just like with friends, family, things like that, because I was always busy, either going to school, doing my homework, um, completing tests, and also just going to work. That was a good chunk of my 6 to 7 months during the semester, and it was awful, if I could say. I did average about 3 to 4 hours of sleep each night, at least during the week. Given weekends, I would get to sleep and maybe a little bit more simply because I didn't have to gone over to the campus to attend classes, and all I had was just work. And I would, of course, complete assignments and just do what I can in terms of schoolwork. But like I said, I don't think it wasn't enough. So yeah, that's the situation that I was. I wouldn't necessarily say put in, but that was just the cards that I was drawn. So I'm just going to answer the questions based off of the scenario that I just gave you. The first question is, when did you burn out? How old was I, and how long ago was it? So, like I said, it was my first semester of college. I was about 18 years old, and that was back in the fall of 2017. So it's 2024 now, so that was about 7 years ago today. Second question is, what sport and activity was being participated? Like I said, it was track and field. All 4 years of high school, I was a track and field athlete. My sophomore, junior, and senior year, I was a varsity athlete. So I competed in multiple events, like more than I probably have fingers on my hands. Um, and I feel like that definitely like drove me to become a better person. It made me feel better in terms of the accomplishments that I had, the team bonding experiences that I had went through, and just the overall experience in general. It was amazing, and I feel like I wanted that to continue going into my college years. I really wish that I had gone on over to Grand Canyon University, which is where I was accepted, but just due to just the cost in general and just being an out-of-state student would cost more, and I wasn't able to pursue that dream of mine. So I just went with the second option of just going to the community college nearby, which was Golden West College at the time. The third question is how intensely were you training when you burned out? So I had a very tight, tight schedule, which involved, like I said, school at 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. In between that was I had a practice every Tuesday and Thursday. That was about 1.5 hours long, and we would do a practice lap, do our stretches, maybe talk to the coach a little bit, and then we'd hop right into hurdle drills and uh, go from there. And then we just have like uh, practice races between each of the hurdlers and stuff like that. The fourth question is, how did you feel physically at this time? At first, I felt like I was okay, just being fresh out of the summer, uh, just out of the summertime. I felt like I had a lot going into the semester. I had a lot to prove because it was my first semester of college, and I wanted that to be the best experience of my life. But over time, I felt like it was just physically draining. I would go into, I kid you not, when I was attending my 7 a.m. biology class, I would really like fall asleep, and my friend would have to wake me up just because of how exhausted I was, and it was just a bad experience. And I think at the end of the semester, I ended off the, the class with a C, and it was not the best experience, but I'll take it. Yeah, so I was, physically exhausted, and I had no energy whatsoever, and I don't think I would ever put myself in that situation ever again. The fifth question is, how did you feel psychologically at this time? So I mentioned the physical aspect of me just being just low energy levels and just exhausted all the time. But psychologically, I felt like it messed me up because just little to no sleep will definitely mess up the chemical balances inside of your head, and you'll start to notice things about yourself that's different from where you're at your optimal or your best. Uh, but yeah, I just felt like it just mentally drained me, and I didn't necessarily want to participate in any like extracurricular events that did not have to do with school or work in general, or just like family time in general. Just it was it was a very bad time for sure. The sixth question is, how long did you feel this way, and when and why did this feeling change? So, like I said, it was all for the fall semester of college, my first semester of college. So it was about maybe 3 to 4 months long. And when did this feeling change? It changed when this semester ended around December time. Uh, why did this feeling change? I felt like just once I completed that semester, I realized that I had a lot more time just to rest and just to collect my thoughts and just get myself back to where I was before. Uh, and I felt like when I went through that, or when I went through that conclusion, or when I went through the end of the semester, I was relieved, and I feel like I can do more with my family and my friends, so that I can, I guess, tell them about my experience and also just give them an insight about how I felt, which also strengthened the relationship between each and every one of them. And the seventh and final question is, did your burnout symptoms occur suddenly or build up over time? So I mentioned before that at the start of the semester, I felt pretty good about myself, thinking that I can accomplish anything that I could put my mind to, in terms of the 5 classes that I was taking, as well as being a college athlete and working 2 jobs at the same time. And yeah, I did feel good, thinking that I could accomplish it, and technically I did because I did, you know, accomplish this all throughout that whole semester. But it definitely did build up over time because, in terms of the amount of sleep that I got each day, being 3 to 4 hours, it'll definitely take a toll on you. Not maybe not the first or second day, but over time. And one thing that I forgot to mention was that Golden West College had a really good cafeteria, and they had a lot of items that I would go to, which included like iced coffees, Monster energy drinks, and it would temporarily give me energy, but it would make me slack off in the end. definitely surprised that I was able to pass majority of my classes. There was one class that I did not pass, which was the 5 o'clock class, English, and of course I had to retake it once I transferred over to Cypress College. But um, yeah, it definitely built up over time. It built up over time, and I definitely would not recommend that schedule to anyone because of how devastating it may be on your mental and physical health. Uh, so yeah, those are all the questions that I had to answer for the burnout discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns whatsoever, you guys can respond to this video right below. And I love each and every one of you guys. And go Chargers.